Hey, welcome to the Tony Scott Internet Show for Thursday. Yes, it is I. It is me. It is me, myself, and I. It is Tony Scott, and I appreciate you listening from wherever. People listen on their smartphones or their laptops or their tablet computers or their desktop computers, or maybe someone's outside my window right now listening. I hope not. I don't have any pants on. No, I'm kidding. I do. I've got on jeans and a t-shirt. You can do that when you do. When I worked in radio, I would show up in flip-flops and jeans and a t-shirt, and you never knew the difference, did you? I'm just saying. Man, I'm so excited. Not only for today's show, I think I got a lot of information that you're going to find pretty interesting. But I don't know if you're aware of the website livestream.com. It lets you stream events. And this whole movement in Ferguson, there's been a lot of live streaming going on. But they recently released an update to their app, which lets you connect a GoPro camera through your phone, and then you can live stream from your GoPro camera, meaning that you could probably mount it just about anywhere instead of having to hold it in your hand where it's going to be kind of shaky and stuff like that, which I think is so cool. Problem is you got to have at least a 4G connection, and because I have an iPhone 4, which is 3G, I cannot take advantage of that technology right now. Now, if you'd like to chip in and help me get the new iPhone 6 Plus, I wouldn't stop you. No, I'm just kidding. I would never let you do that. You know, one thing, though, I would like to do, and in my mind, I know it's a home run, and I've tried committing it to paper a couple of times, and I just can't get it right to start like a Kickstarter fund or something like that, is to create I don't even know if I can say it right, but in my mind, it's a home run. Aren't they all? When something's in our mind, we always think it's a home run, but a lot of times it's not. But I think this one might be, because the news is so, news today, the media is so, they all have an agenda. There's always an angle. And I would like to create some kind of news organization. And of course, I would start it here locally in St. Louis, but we'd expand as quickly as possible where it made sense to give you the facts. Not the facts that you want to hear or the facts that your opponent wants to hear, just the facts, and then you figure it out. Now, a lot of times, I think one of the news stations, the network cable news shows, stations, whatever, used to say, we give you the facts, you decide. But they've backed away from that. I don't even think they use that phrase anymore. Not because it got old and played out, because it just wasn't true. And people knew that. And I think people now, these days, they see things for what they are. So if I can, if I could get some kind of funding where I could create something, it would require a lot of infrastructure, a lot of equipment, a lot of top-notch people, things like that. I think, and it would be internet-based. It wouldn't be on TV. It would be internet-based, because I think that a lot of what goes on in the world is on the internet, and people can actually take advantage of watching it on their smartphones, tablets, desktops, laptops, whatever. I just got to commit it to paper. I haven't done that yet, so enough of that. Congratulations to the Kansas City Royals. They swept. They haven't lost a playoff game yet this year. They haven't been in the playoffs in 29 years. And yet they're awaiting the winner of the Giants and the Cardinals, and the Cardinals lost last night in San Francisco 6-4, so they're down 3-1. I think they'll play one more in San Francisco. If they lose, that'll be the last one they play in San Francisco. If they win, they'll come back to St. Louis, because it's the first one to win 4 games will move to the World Series. Right now the Giants have 3, the Cardinals have 1. Come on, Cardinals. We always start with the movement here in the St. Louis area, particularly in Ferguson, and what these young protesters who don't seem ready to change anything about what their mission is, and that is for change, and that you have to applaud. Now, I understand last night there was a town hall meeting. I think it was at the St. Louis History Museum, and by all accounts of people that I followed, and to be fair, their views might be anti-police, but I think it's with good reason. But from the accounts that I read, the police that were there were not prepared for what these young protesters were bringing to this town hall meeting, because they were unable to answer questions with any sense. The police. Young people were asking all kinds of questions. The police admitted that, we're behind one police chief admitted that we're behind in technology. And they weren't buying it. They were like, well, explain to me then how you had, all these weapons and all this other stuff that utilizes technology, and you don't know anything about technology. How is that possible? And the police chief of Charlotte, from what I heard, spent more time hemming and hawing and not answering the questions that were asked of him. He was like, bragging that he was one of the first responders there. No one gives a damn about that. Nobody cares you were first there as a first responder. You're talking to the wrong crowd, man. You're talking to the wrong people. Dude, come on, man. I'm just saying. Now, the Post-Dispatch, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, recently says that they talked to a witness who testified before the grand jury. And what he says, or she says, I'm assuming it was a guy. I think they indicated it was a guy. They wouldn't reveal his name. That's the only way that he would talk to them. He says that after an initial scuffle in the car, Officer Darren Wilson did not fire until Mike Brown turned back toward him. He says Mike Brown put his arms out to his sides but never raised his hands high. He says Mike Brown staggered toward Darren Wilson despite commands to stop. The two were about 20 to 25 feet apart when the last shots were fired. Now, he wouldn't tell the St. Louis Post-Dispatch what he told the grand jury. But he says the grand jury members were fair and they asked a lot of questions. Now, what he's saying differs a lot to what the majority of people were saying, that Mike Brown's hands were up. You see, and I think a lot of us are starting to resign ourselves to the fact that Darren Wilson is not going to get indicted for murdering Michael Brown. It's not going to happen. I think we've all kind of resigned. And the thing is that we have to pray for peace, because there are going to be some really ticked off people. And you can't blame them for being mad, but we can blame them for destroying our community. We can blame them for looting. We can blame them for burning down buildings. We can blame them for killing other people. Yes, we will blame you for that, because that is not being done in memory of Michael Brown. It's not. Michael Brown Sr. says, I have no problem with anything that's going on as long as you don't take Mike Brown's, his son's name in vain and use it for nothing. And I got to say, I agree with that. Now, I understand anger. I get anger. I spend most of my life angry every day. I totally get anger. But if we're going to misdirect it and make other people victims, that's the wrong thing to do. But if he's not indicted, and then we have to look at the, by the way, I'll link you to the Post-Dispatch story in the news section on talking360.com. But if we have to look towards the federal government to charge Darren Wilson, what kind of charges would he face? Well, Channel 4 here locally in St. Louis, KMOV, talked to a legal expert. And he said that federal investigators will try to determine if Darren Wilson violated Michael Brown's civil rights. Now, when you read that statement, you're like, well, what else do you need to know that his civil rights were violated? Well, as I said before, justice is very slow. It is slow. And the way the law reads, whoever under color of any law willfully subjects any person to the deprivation of any rights, privileges, or immunities secured or protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States would face prosecution. And if death results from the acts committed, the accused could be imprisoned for up to the rest of his life or may be sentenced to death. Now, if anybody thinks that Darren Wilson will be sent on any level, federal, state, local, whatever, to death or to prison for the rest of their life, they need to get over that. That will never happen. Okay? He may go to prison, but he'll never go for the rest of his life. I'd be shocked. This is what Roger Goldman, who's a professor emeritus at St. Louis University, he says, proving civil rights violations is a tough thing to prove. I mean, look at what happened with the Rodney King thing in Los Angeles. 4 cops were caught on tape beating Rodney King with all kinds of stuff, and yet they were acquitted. They were later prosecuted on federal civil rights violations, but only a couple of those got convicted. Remember that? Only 2 of those got convicted. So I would say it ain't looking right. But the thing here's the thing, is that there may not be justice for Michael Brown. There's a couple things I'm sure that Darren Wilson will never be able to live in this area again. And I'm pretty sure his career as a law enforcement officer is over. even if he went to Independence, Missouri, across the state and applied to be a cop, there's too much baggage there. The internet has made the world so small that what he did, the murder of Michael Brown, will follow him forever. 2 words, George Zimmerman, same thing. Same thing. The stink of being a murderer will be with those 2 men forever. I'm just telling you the truth. This Ebola thing, the CDC is apparently talking with all passengers that flew with Amber Vinson. Amber Vinson flew from Cleveland to Dallas and then back to Cleveland again. She's planning her wedding. Now, the CDC says now that she should have never got on the plane. But then again, she called the CDC before she ever got on a plane, and they never stopped her. Before flying to Dallas this past Monday, Amber Vinson called the CDC, and she told them my temperature is 99.5 degrees. Now, she was one of many healthcare workers who helped care for Thomas Eric Duncan. Now, the CDC says that she should not have been using public transportation. She should have been taking a bus, taxi, subway, airplane, unless it was chartered, like one person or something like that. And maybe then, but she should not have been using public transportation. She shouldn't have been on that plane. But no one told her, apparently, that not to get on that plane. No one told her that. Now, both of her and the other nurse who has Ebola both worked with Thomas Eric Duncan, the man who died of Ebola. They worked with him between September 28th and 30th. During that time, he had what they're calling extensive production of body fluids. He was vomiting, it was diarrhea, things like that. So, where are we now? Because I think the country is starting to panic. The president talked yesterday. He canceled some campaign fundraisers for some candidates today. And because I think people are starting to say, okay, so what's the deal? And Olivia, my second daughter, she's a dancer. She loves dancing. She goes to dance conventions and things like that. And I know there's one coming up. I don't know when it is. I think my wife said it's in the spring, but I didn't know it at the time. But it's in Atlanta. And it could have been in Butte, Montana. And I told my wife, today, ain't no way in hell she's getting on anybody's airplane. Because I'm like you. I'm concerned. Should there be a travel ban, not allowing people from that part of the world into this country until we get a hold on this? You can make cases on both sides. You can make cases on both sides. I mean, you really can. In my opinion, you can do that. I don't know what the answer is to that. I do hate the fact that Fox News, their doctor who's on their elite team who comments on cases and stuff like that, Dr. Keith Apryl, you might remember him. He used to have his own show. But I never knew he was such a turd. I'm just telling you the truth. I mean, he says President Obama will never go out of his way to help America solve this Ebola crisis in America because his allegiance is to Africa. Now, where the hell did you pull that out from? Where did you get that? Because to me, man, you stink of racism. You stink of treason. You're borderline treason. You have a right to free speech. That protects you from being, disciplined by the government. But it don't keep you from being attacked by other people because we have a right to free speech too, and you're a turd, okay? Where does that, right now at this minute, where does that help move the conversation on how to solve this problem? That the president has no interest in helping America. Where is that? I'll link you to it if you go to the news page at talkin360.com, TALKIN 360.com. I just don't understand what it is about saying things like that that's going to move the conversation forward. I don't see it. You're not helping. At this point, we need help. We need people to help. That's what we need. And since we're talking about nurses, did you hear about this nurse? Her name is Daniela Pojali. She was accused of killing almost 40 patients as a nurse. She terminated them, is what they're saying, because she found them annoying. They annoyed her. So she got to be judge, jury, and executioner, not on any crime. That just got on her nerves. Maybe they asked for water too many times. Maybe they had too many visitors. You know, maybe they hit that buzzer. I don't know. Well, what the deal is? Maybe they signed the wrong form or didn't sign a form, and it interrupted her watching her favorite TV show. I don't know what it is where they got on her nerves. But she gave laxatives allegedly to patients to make things more unpleasant for people that were coming to work after her. I mean, how do you get to, how does that happen? How do you get away with that? How does that get to happen? How are you allowed to not look? I mean, I guess it depends on the state. This is the death penalty right here, right? There's no pleading this out. There's none of that. You can't do that. No, not here. No. I don't even know. Did it happen in this country? I'm not sure if it even happened in this country. I don't think it did. I think it happened in Europe. But, come on, really? They got on your nerves, so you just snatched their lives. You ended their lives because they were plucking your nerves. Wow. That's incredible. That is... I just don't understand. I do not understand. Man. So word is now that, there was word a while back that O.J. Simpson might be Khloe Kardashian's father. And that thing had some legs for quite a while before I think it was finally addressed, and no, he's not her father. But now there's a new rumor saying that Lionel Richie might be her father. Why can't Robert Kardashian be her father? Why can't the same father that Kim and Courtney and Rob have, Robert Kardashian, the late Robert Kardashian, why can't he be her father? Because he doesn't look like the rest. Khloe doesn't look like the rest of them. I have a sister who's very fair-skinned and has green eyes. But I know she's our full-blooded sister, I think O.J. Simpson's, what's her name? Nicole Brown Simpson. She was a bleach blonde, right? But she had one sister who was a natural blonde. There was like 4 or 5 of them. But one sister was Nicole Kidman. Is very fair, light-skinned. But her sisters are not. And she's got quite a few sisters. So it happens. So why is it that we have to make everybody Khloe Kardashian's father? Do I know for 100% certainty Lionel Richie is not her father? No, I do not know. The only thing I do know is that I'm not her father. But come on, man. Come on. We're talking about fathers. Guess who's going to be a father? Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder is going to have triplets. Did you hear about this? Him and his fiance. I thought he was married. He divorced that woman already. Stevie Wonder and his fiance, Tamika Robin Bracey, are having triplets. They actually had a baby last year together. This is incredible. What is Stevie, like 65? How old is Stevie now? I know he's in his 60s. He did divorce his ex-wife of 11 years. They had 2 children together. So Stevie's got those 2, and then he had one last year with his fiance. He's got 3 more, so that's 4, 5, 6, and I don't know how many adult children he has. I know one of them sings with him, and I think there might be at least 2 or 3 other ones. So Stevie's got quite a little squad going there. But you go, Stevie. There's always that argument, though. Larry King's got some young children, and Larry King's in his 70s, close to 80, I would imagine by now, where people would say that they're too old to be fathers. I mean, biologically, yes, but are they going to be able to be a father to these children? Are they going to be able to play catch in the yard, or, explain things to them, or show them things, teach them things? Are they going to be able to do that? Because, for instance, like Stevie Wonder, he's going to have these 3 triplets, and he's in his 60s. So by the time they're 20 years old, he'll be in his 80s. I don't know. Hey, the bottom line used to always be this when I was growing up. I used to hear people growing up when I was a kid, they would always say this: hey, if he can take care of the kids, have as many as you want, man. Have as many as you want. How about K. Michelle? Did you see? K. Michelle's back in the news. She dropped a bombshell on the world. I believe that was yesterday, by announcing to the world.
Like I've had a relationship with a woman. I am a bisexual woman.
Now, she says that to Ryan Cameron from V103 Atlanta. That's the interview, the audio courtesy of V103 in Atlanta on the Ryan Cameron morning show. She says, I've been with a woman. I've had a relationship with a woman. I am a bisexual woman. You just heard her say it. Hey, can't blame her. Women are beautiful, beautiful people, man. I can't be mad at her for that. People will condemn her now saying she's going to go to... What the hell does that have to do with me and my life? It's got nothing to do with me. The hell do I care? If she likes it, I love it. Trust me, I love it. But it is kind of coincidental that she tells the world that she's bisexual, but she has a new song called Love 'Em All. I don't know if that is. I don't even know what that song's about. I'm just saying. K. Michelle says, I'm a bisexual woman. Okay, good. What else? That's how I look at it. We like to condemn people. We like to pick out parts of the Bible where we say things are a sin, but but when we commit a sin, it's like, no, but not really. That's not really a sin because everybody does it. So instead of saying, well, then everybody's a sinner, which we all are, let's be honest. But that's a whole nother conversation I don't feel like having. You want to have that conversation, then start your own damn podcast. I'm just saying. K. Michelle was also just saying that she would never have, she was talking to Nicole Bitchie, so this clip is courtesy of Nicole Bitchie, where she talks about Ochocinco, Chad Johnson.
I kind of dated Ocho at one point, and I didn't let me tell you.
His penis is so big, Nicole. I would not let him have sex with me because I did not want him to stretch my walls out because I need them.
Okay.
I need them. I looked at his penis and I said, you know what? I'm not. That thing is unreal. I can't take that.
I know the struggle. Okay, I don't know that struggle, but I know a struggle. But apparently Chad Johnson, a.k.a. Ochocinco, apparently he is the man. It's always those little fellas, right? Those little fellas are always, they always have these torpedoes between their legs. Wow. But I hear a lot of women say that's too much for them. She's looking out for her walls because she needs her walls. Boy, people put things in clever ways these days. But, I've heard women say, too big is a no-no. They're not even interested if a dude's too big. That's actually a deal breaker for some because they say it's just too much. But then you got people, and I think someone said Chili from TLC is a size queen. She likes the bigger, the better, the better, the bigger, the bigger, the better than Burger King, right? She likes well-endowed men. I'm well-endowed around my gut. I have a well-endowed gut. And it pretty much stops right there. Sad to say, but hey. Tis what it is, what it is, what it is. I told you about James Randall, who's the backup running back for the Dallas Cowboys. I told you yesterday he got caught at Dillard's in the Dallas area, shoplifting a 2-pack of drawers and some Gucci cologne. He got charged. Now, he makes $500,000 a year. The Dallas Cowboys have decided what they're going to do with him, and I'm going to tell you about that in less than 30 seconds. Hold on.
Do you want to reach an audience that you haven't tapped into yet and not blow your budget? The Tony Scott Internet Show is new, growing, and available to you. Advertising on the Tony Scott Internet Show is extremely affordable. Contact us at advertise@TonyScottShow.com.
Bass! Welcome back to the Tony Scott Internet Show. It is Scandal Thursday, so Scandal will be on tonight, followed by How to Get Away with Murder. I haven't, and maybe because, and I think I said this earlier, that How to Get Away with Murder, good show, but it ain't all that to me, at least not yet. And you're probably saying, man, you crazy. But you know what? It might be because of you. It's your fault because you guys kept saying what a great show it was, and it's off the hook, and it's everything, and it's better than Scandal, and all stuff like that. It was better than sliced bread. It was The Next Coming. It was everything. And then I watched it with such high expectations that, not so much. Not so much. So, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's okay. I don't think it's all that, though. That's just me, myself, personally. So, I'm just being honest with you. Also, tonight, on Thursday Night Football, it'll be the New York Jets going up to New England to take on their Patriots. The Jets are 1-5, like the Rams. And the Patriots are 4-2. So, that'll be on tonight also for you football fans. And there'll be baseball tomorrow night. The Giants and the Cardinals will play tonight. at 7:30. So, all right then. So the Dallas Cowboys have this running back named Joseph Randle, who was caught shoplifting at a mall, at Dillard's at a mall, taking like $123 worth of cologne and some drawers. This is right after their best game in a long time against a worthy opponent. You know, they played the world champion Seattle Seahawks, and they won by a touchdown. He even ran for 38 yards. But he got caught. Now, when I told you about this yesterday, I did tell you that I thought it was horrible when he makes $500,000 a year. And I didn't think he should be cut from the team for this. Suspended without pay, maybe a game or two, maybe. You know, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But to lose his job over this, I mean, there are consequences to your actions. I get that. But to lose your way of paying the bills, I don't know, man. It was a little bit too much for me. But the Dallas Cowboys say that he is going to be fined an undisclosed amount. But he will pay. He'll pay, but he will still play. They're not going to suspend him. It's going to be a significant fine, but he will play this Sunday against New York Giants. So I got a couple of emails about this yesterday when I spoke on it, and some people saying, look, he's got a problem. He needs to go away for at least, what's left of the season, half of it minimum, because he's got a problem he needs to address. The man's entitled. The man has a career that pays him $500,000 a year. So why would he go and steal something? That indicates that he has a problem. Well, making that leap, I think is a fair. I think that's fair, but you don't know. Maybe he had his girl with him and he was trying to show off or trying to be funny and stuff and trying to, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Bottom line, did he steal? I got to say allegedly to protect myself from a lawsuit, but did he steal allegedly? Yes, he did. I mean, he admits to it. He says the biggest mistake he ever made of his life. So, yeah, but I don't know if that warrants, being cut from the team or getting what's left of the season, half of that off. I just don't see that as being I don't think that's the right thing to do. But a lot of people say, you're wrong, Tony, and I respect that. You're wrong, but I respect that. I was doing some celebrity news, and I did not mention, and I wanted to mention about Omarion. Because apparently him and Apryl have ended their relationship. And they're saying it might be because, if you watch Love and Hip Hop, apparently his girlfriend Apryl and his mother have issues. His mother's one of those meddling women. She's always in his business. He's a grown-ass man. He should be able to have his own relationship without input from her unless he asks for it. Well, apparently Mom had been saying all the time, this baby they just had looks like he's biracial. Well, Apryl's ex-boyfriend was Mexican-American. And so he asked for a DNA test, and she said no. So apparently they ended their relationship over that. What do you think? I don't blame her for saying no. I'd have said no too. Because that ain't you talking. That's your mama talking. Your mama put those thoughts in your head. You were fine with this. You were fine with the whole thing until she started saying this baby looks biracial. Now you're looking at the baby because the baby has a different grade of hair. As they used to say back in the day, good hair. What is good? Good hair? What? Every hair is good. Pubic hair, every hair is good. So anyway, I digress. So now you're saying, because your mama put these thoughts in your head, now you're saying you want a DNA test? I'd have told him to kiss my butt. No. Be a man. Omarion, you hung like a man. You hung like 12 men. So, put together. But I see, Apryl, stick to your guns. Stick to your guns. That's just too much drama. And Omarion's mom needs to sit down and shut the hell up. Just shut up. Get out of his business. Let him have his family. Meddling people. My dad used to always say, it's none of your bee's knee. That's what he used to say all the time. Stay out of it. It's none of your bee's knee. My parents, they never meddled. Even when I was married to my first wife, they never meddled. And I had a lot of drama with my first wife, may she rest in peace, and half of it was my fault. Maybe that's why they stayed out, because they knew that I was wrong. I don't know, but they never said anything. They never judged. They never really, you know, on that level. It wasn't on any level that resembled what Omarion's mom is allegedly doing. So I'm just saying. Man, I'm at 30 minutes already. We have flown by with lots of, I think it was great information I shared with you today, and I hope you thought so too, to the point where you will share this podcast and tell people, you know, Tony Scott, if you're in St. Louis, Tony Scott may not be on the radio, but he's doing a show you can hear. And I'm bringing the same good information I brought all the time. So if you can share it, repost it, if you give it a thumbs up on YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I said this before, I'll keep saying it again. What that does when you do that is everything. It puts me closer to my goal. I want to get enough subscribers. I want 10,000. If I get 10,000 subscribers, then certain doors at YouTube open for me where I can actually go to YouTube headquarters and actually maybe take some classes and do some other things. So if I can get to 10,000 subscribers, that would be great. If you can help out with that, thank you, bless you, and everything like that. All right. Thanks so much again. Have a great Thursday. Lots going on. Like I said, Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder, baseball, football, probably basketball. I mean, it's a full night of TV. But if your kids got something they got to do it with them and use your DVR. All right. I'll talk to you tomorrow.